Hello, there is yet another edition of Autoglobe Total Transportation Program, your favorite transportation program on television, where we highlight current events, explore topical issues of the day, as well as showcase evolving trends in the dynamic world of transportation. I am your host, Austin Inya, coming to you from the Providence Hotel in Ikeja, Lagos, where the League of Airport and Aviation Correspondents, LAAC, held their 28th annual conference under the theme Aviation Survivability in a Challenging Macroeconomic Environment. It is no secret that the Nigerian aviation subsector, like every aspect of the country's economy, is at a critical crossroads, confronted with multiple challenges. But as was reiterated over and over in the course of this conference, challenges have within them the seeds of opportunity, so long as they are approached with innovation, creativity, and boldness. The event was graced by the leading individual and corporate stakeholders in the Nigerian aviation ecosystem, notably the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, Festus Keyamo, SAN. In his address of welcome, the chairman of LAAC, Mr. Idris, listed the challenges currently confronting the aviation industry, but also made a number of recommendations on ways of mitigating these challenges, describing this year's conference as an expanded dialogue to actualize these recommendations.
I am indeed delighted to welcome you all to the 28th annual conference of the League of Airport and Aviation Correspondents, which is held under the theme Aviation Survival Amidst a Challenging Macroeconomic Development. When we converged in this call on the 27th of July 2023, we discussed the changing times and the need to change strategies in the quest for the growth of the industry. The distortions noticed in the Nigeria economy and the aviation industry in particular were not anticipated. No soothsayer could have forecast that the national economy would take a plunge so much to the depth we have seen within 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that aviation business is capital intensive, coupled with the fact that most transactions relating to equipment acquisition, spare parts, leasing, maintenance, training and manpower development, and other aspects imperative for keeping aircraft in the sky requires foreign exchange. However, with the recent development under the new dispensation, which introduced the floating of the local currency, high inflation has seen to wipe out disposable funds from the majority of the citizens. Permit me to use this forum to humbly call on the federal government to kindly reconsider its recent decision that 50% of the internally generated revenue of some of the agencies should be dedicated to the government. This will go a long way to reduce the already unbearable burden that the industry is facing during this challenging time. I wish to once again thank you for finding time to attend this conference. And I urge you to listen to the robust presentations and engagement by our seasoned resource persons, as well as contributions from our distinguished guests and participants.
The keynote speaker at this year's event was Dr. Thomas Ogungbangbe, the Chief Executive Officer of SITA Aviation, who asserted that although the industry was still scratching the surface in terms of all the relevant indices, such as strategic investment and passenger volume, it was still a very attractive investment option.
Passenger traffic in our sector is closely tied to the economic activities of the country. A robust economy generates increased business and leisure travels, leading to higher passenger volumes. Therefore, our focus must be on stimulating economic growth and activities that will in turn boost demand for air travel. This requires a concerted effort from all stakeholders, including the government, private sectors, and international partners. Investing in new airport projects while neglecting essential infrastructure like roads is counterproductive. Improved road network facilitates easier access to the airport, making air travel a more attractive option for our populace. We have a growth industry that is still very attractive. Based on our population, I'm not sure we're still doing more than 10% of only about 10% of the population is in the flying of it. So which means there's still growth opportunity year on year, even for the next 20 years. If our economy can improve and the honey powers can also improve. I'm going to give some example and insights from other regions, such as Singapore and Hong Kong, and this will demonstrate the benefits of focusing on economic activities and strategic investments. Singapore, with a population of just 6 million, they registered this year, the first quarter, 16.5 million passenger movements. By trajectory, that will tell you that they will go for over 60 million, close to 70 million by the close of the year. And this is just 6 million population. Anybody will be able to make inference of what is happening in such economy. The same way, if we look at Hong Kong, with a population of just 7.5 million, they recorded 12-month rolling passenger volume of 44 million. But I'm sure maybe in Nigeria we still probably gas between 20 and 25 million, maybe both international and local, which we need to improve on. But of course, the economy has to improve, the earning powers of people have to improve, and we also need to attract foreign direct investment. The security situation has to be put in place. It's such a lot of complexity that has to be fixed. For the thing to work. In the midst of it, we need to continue to move on. We need to continue to strive, because we must continue to assist and ensure that our industry survives.
Also speaking, the head of the Lagos office of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, Mrs. Susie Onwuka, pledged her organization's support for the industry and called for greater collaboration with LAAC as far as their roles as the industry's watchdog is concerned.
To address issues in the aviation industry, the FCCPC is actively engaged in investigations, customer and business education, and providing redress to consumer complaints. Regardless, we believe it is only a dynamic and fully competitive aviation industry that can deliver affordable and high-quality air travel services to the Nigerian public. We are therefore eager to look forward to collaborating with industry players and regulatory agencies to identify and address consumer issues and anti-competitive practices that may impede the sector's development. Let us work together to build a sustainable and consumer-centric aviation industry. The FCCPC commends the organizers of this conference for creating a platform to address the aviation industry's challenges and explore strategies for sustainable growth. We wish you fruitful deliberations and a highly successful conference. Thank you.
The second keynote at the conference was given by the Managing Director of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, Engineer Umar Farouk, who listed collaboration as a key factor in the growth of the industry. He also emphasized the need for modern technology, up-to-date infrastructure, fair pricing, and minimum political interference in the industry as keys to a greater growth profile.
If NAMA is to survive and continue to guarantee safety and efficiency in the airspace, it must breed. It must breed. It's in light of this, and in the spirit of this conference theme of survivability, that NAMA announced the review of its fees and charges. Even though most costs in the economy have increased by more than 1,000%, NAMA has proposed to increase its fees and charges by 800%. The new rates for air and terminal navigation charges are to be reviewed from 2,000 and 6,000 naira to 18,000 and 54,000 naira per flight. Also, the extension of hours of service is also to be reviewed from 50,000 to 450,000 naira per extension to enable the agency to recover the cost of diesel and other logistics during the period of extension. Clarifications and acknowledgements permit me to make the following comments and clarifications, please. 1. NAMA has invested heavily in training programs to equip our personnel with the latest skills and knowledge. Our training initiatives have ensured that our workforce remains proficient and adaptable with technological advancements. 2. We have strengthened our relationship with airlines, regulatory bodies, and international partners. Collaborative efforts have led to improved air traffic management and better service delivery. 3. Recently, I want to comment on on an issue that came up about 2 or 3 months ago. And investigative journalists erroneously reported that our primary radars have not been operational since 2021. Such misinformation has the potential to undermine public confidence in our aviation infrastructure. However, thanks to the vigilance, diligence, and dedication of LAAC members, the core aviation reporters who stand for truth and integrity, this information was swiftly debunked. NAMA has continuously invested in the latest technology to ensure the safety and efficiency of our airspace. Our commitment to deploying advanced systems guarantees that our skies remain safe for all. The Honourable Minister has never interfered in the operation of Nigeria Aviation Industry. I must say it here. He has never, since I have no office. And to drive the aviation industry forward, together, we can ensure a bright and sustainable future for aviation in Nigeria and beyond.
Among the highlights of the 28th conference of LAAC in Lagos were a couple of paper presentations. The first one was by Dr. Alexander Nwuba, the second vice president of the Aviation Roundtable, ART, who spoke about the various impediments to successful industry growth and how to navigate them successfully.
If we go back to the 70s and 80s and 90s, when Nigerian airlines were generally unreliable and before the era of airline booking systems, consumers were already programmed to catch the airline on the ground, ready to go, and even today, with all of the available technology, including the ability to analyze airline performance and reliability data, and we'll speak to the issue of data shortly, and with the persistent character of inefficiency and delays, which the airline often blame on airports as operational issues, consumers will still make every attempt to catch the very first and most likely reliable flight of the day, which will give advantages to the airline that can get the earliest slots. I'm sure therefore that this is not the intended objective of slots, which will certainly distort the market and the nature of competition. However, I started with the statement that the situation in Nigeria is interesting because if we look at the 7 a.m. wave for which we are demanding slots to address the issues, I do not see a long line of aircraft waiting for long periods of time to take off, nor are there significant delays resulting from so many supposedly arriving flights. Therefore, one must question the benefits of slots to any challenge. Finally, I say none of these challenges are independent but rather interconnected, each applying the effects of others. The aviation industry is constantly adapting to overcome these impediments to ensure sustainable growth. Many efforts have been made to address particularly human factor and efficiency issues. Must be made, sorry. I thank you for your time and welcome the discussion that will follow. Thank you very much.
The second paper was presented by Captain Samuel Akin Colcrick, former rector of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Training College in Zaria, who listed what he called undeniable facts impeding aviation survivability in Nigeria and proffered some far-reaching suggestions.
The absence of public governance is trying to approach the government this time around for intervention. Intervention is not for government to give us money. It's to make arrangements to guarantee a loan to bring down the cost of capital in aviation to a single digit. And that can only be achieved if we have corporate governance. Another one plaguing us is the low purchasing power. A lot of people have said so much about it. The naira has been devalued. The weak naira and limited disposable income has reduced the demand for aircraft. The previous speaker always told us about the figures, those who really travel by air. For the past 15 years, we added about 16 million passengers. But if we factor in frequent flyers, quotients, maybe only about 2 million Nigerians travel by air. That is very embarrassing. In a population of over 200 something million, so something has to be done about it. Then we have inefficient infrastructure and inefficiency in government aviation agencies. Permit me, MD Nama, I'm speaking on this side, I used to be on that side. I know what it is. We need to improve service delivery. It is impacting negatively on the bottom line of these air operators. We don't pay our bags. We have so many airports, we don't have enough air traffic controllers. But I always remember, Saudi Arabia, I worked in Saudi Arabia for a while, and they had about 14 airports with air traffic controllers. And I flew to a couple of those. you know, the quality, that is traffic information by aircraft. You know, it works in such a way that when the pilots key the mic, it will switch on the nav aids. You don't need the controller there. So we have so many airports where we have 2 or 3 flights a day. We could do something like that. Saudi Arabia, anyway, has not migrated away from that. About a year ago, they went to the ATM, that is remote visual tower, whereby somebody was sent to about 600 kilometers away to monitor and even control the takeoff and landing about 600 miles away. So we can explore that. But we have the funding, maybe NAMA and the agency should consider what the passengers are paying from the TSAs. A portion of it, 5%, 6% of that TSA coming to you could be for us to improve the infrastructure. Dedicated, you know where to dedicate it. Then somebody mentioned high forest requirement. I think it was the chairman that mentioned the high forest requirement. Yes. We all go to the same markets with everybody to buy spares, boats, NAMA, both the airlines, and everybody will go to the same market. But there's something we can do to reduce the demand for dollars for those exercises, and that is human labor. The local people, we can do most of our repairs locally, and then we will save that component of labor we pay to workers in foreign lands, and that will be now. So that will reduce demand for forex.
Transportation is the lifeblood of every modern economy. Its impact is far-reaching and its scope is dynamic, not only in regard to economic development and our livelihoods, but also with our lifestyles, our cultures, and the way we express ourselves and interact with others. Autoglobe Total Transport Program is the half-hour show that makes sense of all the issues and all the trends pertaining to the world of transportation. On Autoglobe, we understand that you are going somewhere. Watch Autoglobe every Monday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. and let's go places together. Only on this station. Autoglobe, a step ahead. If you're just joining, it's Autoglobe, your total transport program, coming to you from Providence Hotel in Lagos, where the 28th annual conference of the League of Airport and Aviation Correspondents, LAAC, took place. One of the highlights of the conference was the formal presentation of the 2024 LAAC magazine, which was anchored by the General Secretary of the Aviation Roundtable, Mr. Olumide Onwayo.
Today, I want to commend the members of the League for being able to present this today. And if you have a copy, please go through the starting with the editorial titled Against All Odds. Chapter has our private jet owners cut corners. Here they have a picture of the acting DG and the former acting DG there. Then you have aviation fuel marketers, not subrogated airlines. Happily, the chairman today was the one that made the presentation, right? And that's also there. And he's saying that the Dangote refinery will not offer cheap fuel. There's so numerous topics there, assessing Nigerian green passports abroad, investing in quality aircraft interiors to enhance travelers' loyalty, boosting cargo volumes in Nigeria, that's very important. Happily we have the Director of Cargo Farm here. And protecting Nigerian carriers on international, Honorable Minister. That's your assignment. Macroeconomic factors and survival of Nigerian aviation industry. So when you get this magazine, we have something there that's benefiting the industry. But I also want to appreciate those who have advertised, but that's not enough for us. We also need support for amount expended on this magazine, and also to get some other things that are needed for the operation of LAAC members. Most importantly, I think I'm looking for a brand new boss. I'm looking for a brand new boss that will move the organization. So on this basis, we're bringing the magazine to the tables now, and because of time, normally I would have called, send the microphone around for everybody to say what is going to give to us. So they're coming, they're going to come with a paper and a pen. We will not announce except you want us to announce it. So please, ladies with the magazine, can you go to the tables, starting from the high tables, pick up the paper and the pen. Any big man with car or tie that As there's not just something, let me know, then I'll use the microphone to ask. All information can make the agents to help us come together and get us a very good boss that can take the LAAC members to their activities. And the matter is going around. For the ladies I want to hear, I said anybody wearing cap, tie, and really, they have to refuse to respond. The first 3 set of tables, just come back to me and tell me the person, I'll come back here. Please help us. We are also building a secretariat. LAAC is also building a secretariat, a multi-billion secretariat. Maybe we need to build that, it's now multi-billion. So we need to also support for this project to come true. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Please, another round of applause for Mr. Mayo.
Another major highlight of the event was an impromptu speech by the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN.
We crave your indulgence and also your support for the 5-point agenda we have set for ourselves. If you think we have not covered any area within the 5-point agenda, please be free to let us know. We are going to expand it to 6-point agenda or 7-point agenda. But the first is that we are going to ensure we enhance and ensure strict compliance with safety standards. So we talked about safety. The second, of course, will be to improve our infrastructure, both the aeronautical infrastructure and the non-aeronautical infrastructure. The third would be to support our local operators. I don't think for many years, different governments have come and gone. They have not put that as one of their focal points. I think support for our local operators is very critical. Without them, there will be no industry. There will be no industry in Nigeria. So we put it as one of our very focal points. Support our local operators. Make sure you enhance their capacities. For so many years, we've had a lot of mortality rates, high mortality rates, in the aviation industry in terms of airlines coming and going under. Very high mortality. I think more than 100 airlines have come and gone under the last 40, 50 years. In fact, we have had some AOC holders who never even took off at all. They have AOC, but they never even took off at all. And so we need to enhance the capacity. In the absence of a national carrier, in the absence of our own airlines, a nation, then we should have flag carriers within the nation who will make us proud and who, of course, that will service our reciprocal rights under all the different masters that we have. The first, of course, will be to enhance capacity within the industry, capacity development, train and retrain our technical people within the industry, and ensure that we raise their standards to global standards. And of course, somebody just talked about revenue optimization. Without imposing extra taxes on people, let us just optimize revenue. That is why I took a memo to council. I said, I don't like VIPs. You know, I'm coming from civil society. I'm not coming from a privileged background. So my orientation has always been that I don't recognize VIPs. I don't know VIP. We're all the same as human beings. So I don't see any reason why we should exclude some people from paying our taxes, paying our levies in our airports. So I told Mr. President, I said, look, Mr. President, let us eliminate all these VIPs coming to the airports without paying, without parking or gates. I said, except the President and Vice President. He said, why should I be exempted to? Put me and the Vice President, who paid. It's optimized revenue, so we're not imposing extra. I'm just giving one example of how we try to optimize our revenue lines. Those are our 5-point agenda, and if you think we have not covered any aspect of the aviation industry, please let us know. But the problems are legion. The problems are legion. We can't solve all the problems overnight. But I think every government should just take its own focal points, concentrate, do the best, and leave the rest for others to come. For us, we are looking at various issues. They've spoken about the MROs. I think it's at the heart of the improvement of our local aviation industry. We need to bring in the MROs. People are already talking with us. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but very soon we are going to advertise and call for partnership PPPs. That's the only way to go. And I think we need to call in people with money. So for our local businessmen, our banks, financial institutions, financiers, don't say that foreigners are coming to take your business. It's big business. Anybody that establishes a world-class environment, I know IBOM is doing something for the wide bodies, but we still need more. Somebody that can take the 777s up. If you bring them in, you will service the whole of West Africa, you will service the whole of Central Africa, you will service even parts of Southern Africa. If you can get in the MROs now into Nigeria. There's none so far in in the whole of West Africa and Central Africa, for the real big bodies, the wide bodies. So we encourage all of you. The Arabs are talking to us, the Chinese are talking to us, Europeans are talking to us, Americans, they want to invest. But most importantly, sir, if you notice, there is a shortage of aircraft in Nigeria to service routes. That's, I think, the major problem we're facing now. The local operators are struggling to cover their routes, even locally, not to talk of our international routes. Air France is coming here 10 times a week. We are not going to Paris. Lufthansa is coming here. We are not going to Frankfurt. Even here, South Africa is coming here. South Africa, nobody's going to South Africa. We only managed to get the London route recently for airports. And we are pushing also for them to take us to Heathrow now. If you concession your airports to people, they should know that you have existing obligations in that airport, and they should respect those existing obligations on the passers. If you give us our tier 1 airports, if we give you our tier 1 airport, you should give us your tier 1 airports too. If not, we'll divert British Airways to somewhere.
Wow.
Don't tell us it's in the hands of other people. It's your airport, concession. You had the existing obligations before you concession it. Respect. Tell those people to respect the obligations. But without doing that, there can't be real connectivity. You can't do real connectivity in the routine or Gatwick.
The 2024 LAAC conference was rounded off by a panel discussion which featured representatives of major corporate stakeholders in the industry, such as the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria (FAN), the Nigerian Civil Aviation Industry (NCAA), by Courtney Aviation Services Limited, the Association of Ground Handlers of Nigeria, the Airline Operators of Nigeria, and FCM, the Travel Solutions Company. And that's the size of our show today. Hope you join me next week on Autoglobe, your total transport program, at this time and on this channel for yet another interesting discourse in the dynamic world of transportation. Until then, this is your host, Austin Ian, saying take care, and I'll see you soon. By God's grace. Bye-bye.